Welcome to the second episode of our Wither Skeleton PvE Arena mini-series that we're building on the Crafted Realm SMP server. If you missed the last episode, I recommend you check out the link below so you can get caught up on the concepts behind this build. We'll be doing some follow-up on the logistics of Wither Skeleton delivery and making a few changes to improve performance in today's episode. Before we get into that though, I want to give you a brief tour of the outline we've made for the build to help you better envision what the end product is going to look like. From the entrance, we will have a grand lobby to set the mood for the experience. The lobby will serve some purpose to show off each player's progress and performance in their past attempts in the arena. We considered using redstone to display performance, but we may end up going with a victory point wither and wither skeleton head display method instead. We'll plan to iron out the details of this in a later episode, but for now, let's move forward. Between the lobby and entering the game, we will have an initiation chamber. The rough plans so far will give that name a double meaning. Initiation in the sense that it will set into motion the redstone for the game, and also in the sense that it will result in your first, but certainly not last, death by wither skeleton. After our initiation has been taken care of, we will move on to the class selection room. This is where the player will choose which of the 3 available classes they would like to play, receive their class item, and receive their starting currency to purchase weapons and armor. Once they have their class selected, they'll finally be free to roam the main hall of the arena. The main hall will be the primary hub for all pre-round action. It will be the location of shops where players will be able to purchase food and other beneficial items or buffs, and it will also hold the entrances to each class's skill tree, if you will. The skill trees will be comprised of rooms that are only accessible by using the class item of the specific class the player has chosen. Initially, they will only have access to the first room where the cheapest and most basic weapons and armor are available. There will be a second, third, and possibly fourth tier room for each class, with each door being locked behind a resource cost. When a player has purchased all the food and equipment they need, they'll make their way into the main hall and up the center stairs. These will lead into the arena itself. Each round will begin with the press of a button, locking the door behind the player until an allotted amount of time has passed and they reopen. Rinse and repeat the last few steps until death, and sprinkle in a few more wither skeletons per round, and you have yourself what I hope to be a pretty satisfying gameplay loop. So that's the plan. I hope you guys are at least getting a little bit excited about things. Our plans for today are going to spring us forward quite a long ways in the building process. But before we start progressing, we need to break out
the pickaxe of erasing.
I thought I was a big brain genius when I put together our design from the last episode for transporting skellies into the arena, but I didn't consider one very important detail. This farm is very, very efficient. Too efficient, in fact. It's so efficient that skellies were getting jammed up in a loop and not moving through the water streams fast enough, causing entity cramming and resulting in hundreds of entities being stuck in our water streams without being cycled through to the end. This is bad. So, with the trusty
pickaxe of erasing,
I was able to fix this problem by creating 2 outputs from our skelly farm and creating 2 separate water streams that were just a straight line with 4 dispensing modules on either side. It worked almost flawlessly. The skeleton dispensing nodes filled up quickly, and the extra skeletons were yeeted to their death. Here's where the new problem comes in. Each of these modules holds roughly 11 skellies. With 8 modules, that means we're holding 88 skeletons to send into the arena. On top of that, we have a line of skeletons on either side waiting to be dropped in or dropped to their death. I did some counting, and there's nearly 40 skeletons along the top line. Multiply that by 2 lines, that means we have 88 plus 80, at least 168 entities that are alive and well at any given time, and that's just too many. But I need all those modules if I want multiple points of entry into the arena. Or so I thought. I believe I know a way to take a skelly from one module and create a device that will be able to send it randomly to one of multiple destinations. That means I could theoretically cut the number of modules needed down to, let's say, half. With half as many modules, we'll be able to shorten the line to travel and dispose of excess skellies almost immediately. So, bear with me for a minute while I take my
Pickaxe of erasing!
and get to work. There we go. Everything seems to be in working order. We have 4 modules filling up very quickly, and we have excess skellies being sent down into the void to meet their untimely demise. A job well done in my book, but we're not done yet. I also did some work off camera, preparing things for our different class shops. If you missed my last video about my 1.5 wide X to X ratio shop design, I highly recommend you check it out with the link in the description. I put together the outline for every shop we're going to need, and I collected all of the redstone components to finish building them. Although this build will be plenty complicated, this will end up being a very large portion of the redstone needed for the arena, and we're going to knock it all out right now. So bear with me one more time while I get to work. Let me just say, that's a lot of shops. That's a whole lot of shops. That's 90 shops to be exact. I'm glad I did it, but oh boy. Did I mention that's a lot of shops? That's all I've got in me for today's episode, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this deep dive into the arena. Keep your eyes open for the next episode when we start tackling some of the more complicated aspects of the redstone, and also start planning the layout of the fighting portion of the arena itself. Things are going to get plenty crazy, but thanks again for stopping by today. Make sure you guys get down there and like and subscribe, and, well, share this too. If you guys know anybody that would think this is a cool project, I would really, really appreciate it if you shared it. It would be cool if we could get some more eyes on this crazy thing we're doing. But, as always, I appreciate you. and I hope you all have just the best kind of day. Mm-hmm.